last, oh, my love has come along. Oh, my lonely days are over, and my life is like a song. At last, oh, the skies above are blue. Oh, my heart's wrapped up in clover. The night I looked up and saw you, I had a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I could call my very own. Found a thrill to press my cheek to, a thrill that I'd never known. Oh, you smile. Oh, oh, and then a spell was cast. Here we are in heaven, and you are mine, oh, mine, at last. Hi, I'm Sharon Z, and welcome to Talent Time. Today I've brought to you my very special guest, Frank Zarba. How you doing, Frank?
I'm doing very well, Sharon.
I'm so glad you're here today.
I am too.
I've been dying to ask you some questions, probably my whole time knowing you, and I've worked with you now for how long? What do you think about?
It seems to me it's about close to 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years I've had the great fortune of working with this amazing talent. Frank is a baritone. And where did you go to school, Frank?
For music,
Yes, for music.
Boston Conservatory.
Were you a performing arts major? Were you
It was an applied music, and I was a special student there, and enjoyed every minute that I was there. I loved being surrounded by music all the time.
I went to New England Conservatory. I think you know that.
Yes, I
So-
do. I had two brothers who went there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
My oldest brother, Chris, went there, and my younger brother, he's older than I am,
Oh.
my brother Joe, both majored in piano.
What made you decide to go into music? Was it just a
Well-
love or a natural ability?
My mother was always pushing us into music and in the arts as well. And as a result of her appreciating the arts, as well as my dad as well, he wanted us to be always involved in creative activities.
Have you ever been scared? What was your scariest performance moment? Can you remember one?
I think perhaps maybe one time when I had to sing for the Red Sox,
Really?
and there were almost 40,000 people in the audience.
Does that qualify as probably your largest crowd also that you've ever sang for?
Probably. Yeah.
I believe it. I believe it. If there was anything that you could ever tell a young, budding artist, singer, performer, is there any advice you could give him? I know that, speaking personally, had I known that it would be a long, arduous, but very rewarding career. I probably would have started sooner, done my preparing sooner. That's one thing. Is there anything that you can suggest for?
Well, if you love to sing, I would suggest to any budding singer, young person, make sure that they have good instructors, good teachers. There's no substitute for having a great teacher. I know I was very lucky in my youthful days and in my career, and I was fortunate that my older brother had a lot of connections with good musicians. Mm-hmm. And he always suggested to me to study with certain people that he had a list of.
No kidding.
And it was that kind of basis that I had was I can't in any way look back and regret any particular teacher I had.
That's funny. I had a great teacher in school too that I didn't know anything about when I went to the conservatory. And my brother-in-law, he said, when you go there, you must have this teacher. And it just so happens that when I was there, the woman who I finally did go with was the one that he chose and told me to be with, and she chose me. I didn't even have to choose her.
It's fantastic.
So, yeah, it was just kind of a lucky day. Yeah. Tell me, where was your first really big job? Can you remember that? I know this is going back a ways. I can't even remember mine, but.
Well, it all depends on how you describe a big job.
Meaningful.
Meaningful job. There were many, many meaningful jobs in my life. I was fortunate, like I said, in that I worked under many different conductors also who brought different things. I noticed what they concentrated on, the details that they concentrated on, and I always paid attention to those details in any of my performances. How to approach singing when you have to sing for a lot of people. And fortunately, I remembered many of these things that were very important. And
I don't mean to interrupt you, sorry, but you said something very interesting. Preparation. Do you have any rituals, or you know how some people, they wear certain socks, or I know that you are a spiritual man, but is there something that you do before every performance?
Well, I do meditate a bit, and I do pray, because I think that's where I got my strength from as a youngster, because I didn't think I had any talent at all.
You're kidding me.
No.
Who told you that you finally had talent? Did you learn this on your own?
Oh, well, you were one of the people.
Well, yes. When was our last job together? Was it in June? June 1st, maybe? That's right.
Yes, that's right.
You're a captain, aren't you? A captain in what?
In the National Guard.
In the National Guard. Captain Frank Zarba. How about that one? The man of many talents.
Well, I became the bandmaster of the Yankee Division Band after about 16 years in the National Guard. And then I became a member of the Ancient and Honorable Artillery Company of Massachusetts. And they automatically made me the bandmaster after John Shea, who left as bandmaster of the company. And so I was bandmaster of both the Ancient and Honorable Artillery Company along with the Yankee Division Band.
Is that the one that actually you asked me once to be a member of?
And you still are a member.
Oh, I am.
You may never get out.
Well, the days are warm. The uniforms are heavy.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, that's funny. I still have mine.
Yes, keep it ready. Always keep it pressed, ready for action.
It is. It's hanging in the back of the closet, hat and everything.
As a matter of fact, you just reminded me. I might just call you up on 4th of July.
So don't leave town.
Right.
Wow. I remember I went to Italy with you and your wife and a bunch of people, all different kinds of people. This was, I think in 2009. Maybe, 2009.
Yeah, could have been.
And we spent an amazing, for me, it was only, I think, maybe 10 days, but you were there for quite some time. And you sang this amazing song to your wife in a restaurant one day, and it was so, so beautiful. I'd actually never heard the song. I think it was called, was it O Solo Mio?
It has something to do with the sun, yes.
Yes.
And I always think of my wife when I do that song, because she's, to me, the sun of my day. At the beginning of every day, I see my wife, and she's like the sun.
She's an amazing woman.
She always has a smile on her face, and she always has a happy greeting for me.
Yeah.
And she's my sunshine.
Oh.
The song is "You Are My Sunshine," and
Is
in a sense,
it?
it's like the cowboy song you learn when you're a kid. You are my sunshine. And, well, this is "O Sole Mio," and that song is about 140 years old.
Wow.
And every major singer in the world has sung that song and recorded it. Even Elvis Presley.
He did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
It was
I'm going to have to listen to that one.
It was translated into English. It has a different title, though. I can't think of it at the moment, but...
Wow. I know, actually, you're a dual citizen, aren't you? Aren't you a dual citizen?
Yes. I'm a dual citizen because both my parents came from Italy. My father came from Sicily, and my mother came from the Abruzzo region.
Oh.
Although my mother was born in New York, her father sent her back to Italy to get her primary education. And when she was finished with her primary education, along with her 5 or 6 sisters that she had, they came back to the United States. But they lived in a place called Sulmona.
Sulmona.
In Abruzzo.
Isn't that where we did a benefit?
Yes, we did.
I remember that. I have pictures of that, you and I.
That was
gorgeous.
That was
pictures.
Shortly after that earthquake, that big earthquake back in, I think it was 2007. And we went to raise some money for the victims of that earthquake.
Did we raise enough?
We raised some. They don't have much money to spend over there, but they do the best they can with other delicacies. Speaking
of delicacies, I want to go back to your wife. She is an amazing, amazing cook. Do you remember the spreads that she would put out? And it was like, meant nothing to her. When we were in Italy, I used to be so amazed. I'd come home, and do you remember, actually, I showed up with the entire leg of prosciutto. It was, it was like going into a deli. I'll have a pound of roast beef. No, I walked in there, and the entire leg was just there. And we had so many people, I figured, why not? Why not bring it? Right? Well, I remember going there, and your wife, she had, the wine, the olive oil. Oh, my God. Every morning. I keep talking about it. She's an amazing hostess. In fact, you know what? One of these days, maybe I'll have her come on here, onto this show, and see if I can have her cook.
Well, you know what they call that? In Italian, they call it abbondanza.
Abbondanza.
Abundance.
Ah. Well, she's got to get you a gift. I don't know if it's natural or not, but...
Well, in case the food's not good, at least you got plenty of it, you know?
Right. She actually does some catering, too, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
Yeah. I remember the last time we were on a friend of ours...
on a yacht.
On his yacht. We were doing a job on a yacht.
Right, yeah.
And I looked down, and who's in the galley? Jeannie. Cooking.
Jeannie's,
unbelievable. Looking gorgeous.
And it was all prepared.
I just... Well, anyhow.
She works miracles.
I know it. And you and I sang. And watched the sunset.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's just amazing. Singing with you is probably, for me, it's a spiritual experience.
I got to say the same thing. When I sing with you, I feel that we've sung together most of our lives, whether not knowing it, but...
The musician relationship is very unusual. It's not something that you necessarily learn, although we learn our craft. But when you sing with somebody, even for the first time, if you have this natural connection, which I think you and I did, I think that you just anticipate. You just know. It's like breathing. We don't even think about it. It just is.
And you don't overpower when you don't have to.
No.
And you just, you know how to play piano when you have to play piano, and you sing forte when you have to sing forte. And that's what we are able to do without even discussing it.
It's amazing every time we do a job together that it's not nerve-wracking. It's not like sitting in traffic, getting to a job and having to relax. It's the minute you see a person. That's it. You support me, I support you. Nothing ever goes wrong, even when it goes wrong. Smile and nobody ever knows, right?
Right.
It's incredible.
It is.
It's an amazing thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, I haven't had as much training, natural training as you, but I feel knowing you and working with you that I have gained more training than had I actually gone to school and continued on in school. It's just knowing you has enriched my life. I've always wanted to tell you that.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did, because I've learned a lot from you as well.
Tell me, I know that when you and I, we sang the 9/11 at the State House.
We've done that several times,
Yeah.
and each year they remind me of and ask me if I would, do a performance again. And I always include you and Ray. And we managed to do it without any rehearsal at all.
Once again.
And they're very happy to have us. And it was, and I think we'll still continue to do that, because whenever they're going to have those events, they will ask me, I'm sure, and I will ask you as well.
Well, every year it's very special because I know that there's a lot of meaning. There's a lot of meaning to that. Will you do me a favor? Would you mind singing a song for us?
I'd love to.
Do you have anyone in mind, or you want to surprise me?
Well, how about O Sole Mio?
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Frank Zarba singing O Sole Mio.
Che bella cosa, una giornata o sole, un'aria serena dopo una tempesta. Per l'aria fresca pare già una festa. Che bella cosa, una giornata sole. Ma nato sole, più bello in ne, o sole mio, sta in fronte a te, o sole, o sole mio, sta in fronte a te, sta in fronte a te.
Unbelievable. I can't believe. Every time I hear that, I absolutely melt. You're amazing. You are incredible. Don't be shy.
Well.
Don't be shy. You are incredible. I could listen to you sing all day long. Really.
Well, I hope a lot of people would like to hear
They will,
May
and you know
sing
what?
all day long.
Guess what? I have a copy of your CD. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Frank Zarba's CD. It's called Unforgettable. I actually happen to be singing on one of the songs.
2,
2?
3.
Heavens to bits. 3. Didn't even know. How lucky for me. And Frank Zarba's CD, you can email me. My email is sharonsings@verizon.net. And if you want a copy, I will be more than happy to get you one. So this is a great CD. Everybody I've ever given one to.
Well, there's a CD that you mentioned, Jeannie, my wife,
Yeah,
and she produced it.
no surprise.
She produced it, and she did all the photography on it also. There's a picture of where my father built a house in Sicily when he was 12 years old, or around that age. He was just a young fellow, young boy rather, and he built the house. There's a picture of the house, and it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
In Italy, they don't tear things down fast,
No.
unless they. And inside the on the disc itself is a picture of Sulmona with its beautiful large piazza, and the mountains in the background, and the aqueduct running through this town and into a villa.
Oh,
Anyway, and she called it Unforgettable because there are lots of things in that particular album that we don't want to ever forget. Like
I remember. I
Like-
remember when she was talking to me about that.
my brother Chris is playing the piano, and in some of those selections, and my nephew Christopher, who we lost in 9/11,
Right.
was playing the French horn,
That's amazing.
and he's still in a couple of those selections, and we wanted to keep those in there.
Well, I
Anyway.
know the first time I heard the fully produced CD, I was, actually, I cried because your favorite, or my favorite, I don't know if it's one of yours, but my favorite song on here, if I'm not mistaken, and I cry every time you sing it, is My Way. I have to actually leave the room. I have to leave. Yeah. I think you always thought it was because I didn't like the song. Well, now you know. I have to go and protect myself because it was also my dad's song.
Well, that particular song was a song that brought me to Italy
That's right.
so that I could compete in Naples, Italy, and
You won.
I won first prize.
That's right.
Right, I was surprised to even have won that, but it was a coincidence. I was doing a show in Boston, in Lexington actually, and it was an Italian show, and it was about immigration, and the soprano and the director heard me singing it My Way in that show, and they decided that they wanted me to go to Italy to sing it. And so when I went to Italy and sang it in Italy, they decided to add me to the competition that was going on at that time. And as a result, I won the competition, and I wound up going back almost 3 or 4 times afterwards.
Oh, my goodness. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I knew that you had won. I knew that it was a huge event. In fact, when is your next performance? Is it what's today? Is it tomorrow?
It's tomorrow night
Tomorrow night at
the Lucia's restaurant in
In
Winchester.
Winchester.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think you and I have a job coming up. What is it in a big one? Actually, at Venezia Restaurant. Let me think.
That's
Is it in
gonna-
July?
It's in July the 10th.
I think it's the 18th, isn't
No,
it?
it's the 18th, I
Yeah,
think,
I think
yes.
it's the 18th.
Yeah, the 18th at the Venezia.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait for all the jobs that we do together. It's always inspirational. So I'm so glad that you came to see us. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad I was invited.
Anytime. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Talent Time with Frank Zarba and myself, Sharon Z. We'll see you next time.